Have you ever wondered what truly makes a creature the most powerful predator to ever walk the earth? Picture an ancient world where giants roamed, locked in an eternal struggle for survival. Among them stood a dinosaur whose name alone echoes through history, Tyrannosaurus rex. But is T-Rex really the most powerful land carnivore that ever lived? Or does the fossil record reveal rivals just as fearsome, perhaps even more so? Today, we're going to explore the evidence, compare the titans of prehistory, and discover what power truly means in the age of dinosaurs. To answer this question, we first need to understand what we mean by powerful. Is it about size, bite force, hunting ability? Or is it something less tangible, like adaptability and survival? T-Rex, often called the king of the dinosaurs, has long held the title in popular imagination. But the story is far more complex than the movies would have us believe. Tyrannosaurus rex lived around 68 to 66 million years ago in what is now North America. It grew up to 40 feet long, stood about 12 feet tall at the hips, and weighed up to 9 tons. What set it apart wasn't just its size, but its incredible bite force. Scientists estimate that T-Rex could bite down with a force of around 12,000 to 18,000 pounds, enough to crush bone effortlessly. Its teeth were massive, thick and banana-shaped, perfect for puncturing and shattering the bones of its prey. This was a predator built not just to kill, but to dominate its ecosystem. Yet, T-Rex was not the only apex predator in Earth's history. Across different continents and times, other giant theropods evolved that might rival or even surpass T-Rex in certain ways. Let's look closely at the main contenders. First, consider Spinosaurus aegyptiacus. Spinosaurus lived roughly 100 million years ago in what is now North Africa. It was longer than T-Rex, measuring up to 50 feet from snout to tail, and possibly even longer depending on which fossils are accepted as accurate. Spinosaurus had a crocodile-like skull filled with conical teeth, specialized for catching fish. Its massive sail-like structure on its back makes it one of the most distinctive dinosaurs ever discovered. But does longer mean more powerful? Spinosaurus was likely semi-aquatic, hunting large fish, and perhaps scavenging on land. Its long, narrow jaws lack the crushing power of T-Rex's skull, and its lightweight build suggests it wasn't suited for battling large terrestrial dinosaurs head-on. While Spinosaurus was longer, it was probably lighter and less robust than T-Rex, built for a very different lifestyle. Next, we have Giganotosaurus carolini, which lived around 98 million years ago in what is now Argentina. Giganotosaurus reached lengths similar to T-Rex, perhaps a bit longer, around 40 to 43 feet. Unlike T-Rex's bone-crushing bite, Giganotosaurus had a long, narrow skull with sharp blade-like teeth, built for slicing flesh rather than crushing bone. Its skull was lighter and less deep, suggesting it attacked large prey with slashing bites instead of powerful, bone-breaking bites. Another contender is Carcharodontosaurus saharicus, another African predator living around the same time as Spinosaurus. This dinosaur could grow up to 40 to 43 feet long, with serrated teeth designed for cutting through flesh. Its name means shark-toothed lizard, highlighting its fearsome teeth, similar to a great white shark. These predators were undoubtedly formidable. They were longer than T-Rex, had sharp teeth capable of slicing through large prey, and likely hunted large herbivores. But when we look at pure raw power, the ability to bite through bone, to overpower prey with sheer force, T-Rex seems to stand apart. The unique structure of T-Rex's skull is a big part of this story. Its thick, heavily built skull allowed for massive jaw muscles, and its teeth could withstand immense stress. Fossils show evidence that T-Rex often bit through the bones of its prey, something rarely seen in other large theropods. This bone-crushing ability gave it access to marrow, an important source of nutrition that other predators couldn't reach. In terms of sensory abilities, T-Rex was also exceptional. Its forward-facing eyes gave it stereoscopic vision, allowing it to judge distance accurately, a huge advantage when hunting. Studies of its inner ear structure suggest that it had a keen sense of hearing, possibly able to detect low-frequency sounds made by struggling prey. But let's not overlook the power of the other giants. Giganotosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus had powerful neck muscles and strong jaws adapted for slicing large chunks of flesh. Their strategy may have been to deliver slashing bites and then retreat, letting blood loss weaken their prey before moving in for the kill. In contrast, T-Rex seems to have relied on its crushing bite to subdue prey quickly. Spinosaurus, on the other hand, represents a different kind of power. While not as strong on land, it was likely the largest known carnivorous dinosaur by length, and its adaptations for swimming suggest it was the top predator in rivers and lakes, catching massive fish like sawfish and lungfish. This semi-aquatic lifestyle set it apart from its land-based relatives, but does being longer, taller, or more specialized make these dinosaurs more powerful? Or does power come from versatility, brute force, and the ability to dominate an entire ecosystem? That's the real question. One way scientists measure power among predators is by looking at their ecological impact. T-Rex fossils have been found in large numbers across North America, suggesting it was highly successful and widespread. Its bite marks appear on the bones of herbivores like Triceratops and Edmontosaurus, showing that it actively hunted large, dangerous prey. In some fossils, T-Rex bite marks are even found on other T-Rex skeletons, suggesting they may have fought each other or scavenged on their own kind. Giganotosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus lived in ecosystems with multiple large predators, including abelisaurids and other Carcharodontosaurids. Spinosaurus shared its environment with Carcharodontosaurus and other large predators as well. This might suggest that while these dinosaurs were powerful, they had to compete directly with other giants, possibly limiting their dominance. By contrast, T-Rex seems to have been the undisputed top predator of its environment. Other large carnivores in its ecosystem were much smaller, like the raptor Dromaeosaurus or the smaller tyrannosaurid Nanotyrannus, whose existence is debated. No other predator came close to T-Rex's size and power in its ecosystem. Yet power isn't just about strength, it's also about adaptability and success. T-Rex evolved at the end of the dinosaur age, during the Maastrichtian stage of the late Cretaceous. By that time, tyrannosaurids had evolved highly specialized traits that set them apart. Massive skulls, bone-crushing teeth, and long legs that made them relatively fast for their size. Some studies suggest T-Rex could run at speeds of up to 12 to 20 miles per hour. While this isn't fast compared to modern cheetahs, for an animal of its size, it was impressive. Combined with its keen senses, this made it an effective hunter of massive herbivores. Meanwhile, Spinosaurus evolved for a different niche, adapting to hunt in water and likely relying less on speed and more on stealth. Giganotosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus evolved for slashing attacks, with lighter skulls better suited for rapid strikes. This difference in strategy highlights an important point. Power isn't just about being the biggest or having the strongest bite. It's also about how well an animal's design fits its environment and prey. The fossil record shows that T-Rex was incredibly successful right up until the asteroid impact that ended the age of dinosaurs 66 million years ago. Its fossils are among the most common large theropod fossils in North America, and they come in all sizes and ages, from tiny juveniles to massive adults. This suggests T-Rex thrived in its ecosystem, raising young to adulthood and dominating the landscape. Giganotosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus, by comparison, are known from far fewer fossils, which might be due to different preservation conditions, but it could also reflect smaller populations. Spinosaurus fossils are also relatively rare, though recent discoveries have helped scientists better understand its anatomy. But can we say definitively that T-Rex was the most powerful? That depends on how we define power. If we mean the strongest bite, the most robust skull, and the ability to crush bone, then yes, T-Rex holds that title. If we mean the longest or the tallest, Spinosaurus might win. If we mean the fastest kill through slashing attacks, Giganotosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus might be contenders. Each of these predators represents a different form of power shaped by millions of years of evolution. What's fascinating is that these dinosaurs never met. T-Rex lived tens of millions of years after Spinosaurus, Giganotosaurus, and Carcharodontosaurus. They were the rulers of their own times and places, each perfectly adapted to the prey and challenges of their ecosystems. Yet in popular culture, T-Rex is often imagined fighting these other predators in an ultimate prehistoric showdown. While purely hypothetical, this idea captures something deeply human: the desire to know who was the greatest, the most powerful, the true king of dinosaurs. To answer that, we need to look beyond the fossils and consider what power really means in nature. Is it about sheer physical strength? Or is it about dominance over an ecosystem, adaptability to changing conditions, and the ability to leave behind a rich fossil record that tells the story of success? When we look at T-Rex through this broader lens, its case becomes even stronger. It wasn't just a giant predator, it was an incredibly specialized apex predator that reigned supreme in its environment for millions of years. Fossil evidence shows that T-Rex juveniles may have occupied different ecological niches than adults, perhaps hunting smaller, faster prey, before growing into the massive, bone-crushing giants we know. This flexibility helped the species thrive across a wide range of habitats. Moreover, T-Rex's bone-crushing bite was unique among theropods. Other large carnivores like Giganotosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus had teeth and skulls built for slicing meat, which limited the types of prey they could consume and the parts of carcasses they could exploit. T-Rex could crush through bones and extract marrow, giving it an edge in times when food was scarce. This made it both an effective hunter and a highly efficient scavenger. Its massive neck muscles allowed it to deliver powerful bone-breaking bites, while its tail provided balance and agility unexpected in such a large animal. T-Rex's legs, while thick and powerful, were surprisingly long, giving it a stride that helped it move efficiently across its territory. Combined with forward-facing eyes and an acute sense of smell, T-Rex was a sensory powerhouse built to dominate. Now, consider its rivals again. Giganotosaurus, while slightly longer, had a lighter build and a skull that could not withstand the same forces. It relied on different tactics, likely hunting in groups or targeting the softer parts of massive sauropods. Carcharodontosaurus shared a similar build and hunting style, slicing at prey rather than crushing bones. Spinosaurus, despite its length, likely weighed less than T-Rex and had jaws adapted for fish rather than armored or heavy prey. While it may have been the largest carnivorous dinosaur by length, it was specialized for semi-aquatic life, which made it powerful in rivers and swamps, but likely less effective on open land. Even among other tyrannosaurids, T-Rex was the ultimate evolution. Earlier relatives like Albertosaurus and Daspletosaurus were formidable, but none reached the same size, bite force, or robustness. T-Rex stands as the pinnacle of its family, a product of millions of years of evolution pushing toward maximum predatory efficiency. So why do we remain so fascinated with T-Rex? Part of it is cultural. It has become a symbol of prehistoric power, featured in countless documentaries, books, and films. But it's not just hype. The fossil evidence supports its reputation: enormous size, unparalleled bite strength, and adaptations that made it the ultimate predator of its time. Let's step back and think about what most powerful really means. Power isn't just raw strength. It's the combination of physical ability, ecological dominance, and evolutionary success. By these measures, T-Rex wasn't just a large theropod. It was a unique predator with unmatched killing tools and a deep impact on its environment. Imagine standing beside a full-grown T-Rex. Its head alone could be 5 feet long. Its teeth, thick and deeply rooted, could pierce armor like skin and crush bones. Its gaze, binocular and keen, would lock onto movement hundreds of feet away. Even in death, its fossils tell a story of a creature perfectly adapted to rule. Yet the fossil record is incomplete, and new discoveries continually reshape what we know. For instance, some recent studies of Spinosaurus suggest it may have been more aquatic than previously believed, spending most of its time in the water. This redefines its power not as a land predator, but as a giant river hunter. Giganotosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus, meanwhile, may have hunted massive sauropods, prey that T-Rex never encountered in its time and place. This diversity of designs shows that there is no single blueprint for predatory success. Each of these dinosaurs evolved to dominate different environments, facing different prey and challenges. Their power was shaped by the ecosystems they lived in, not just by brute force. So, is T-Rex the most powerful carnivorous land dinosaur ever? In terms of raw bite force and the ability to crush bone, yes. In terms of being the most robust, heavily muscled and dominating its environment, also yes. But the title most powerful also depends on context. Spinosaurus ruled the rivers, unmatched in its watery realm. Giganotosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus likely used pack tactics or ambush to bring down prey far larger than any T-Rex hunted. In the end, the true answer is that each was powerful in its own way. Evolution built different forms of apex predators, each perfectly adapted to their world. T-Rex's power lay in its brute strength and crushing bite, Spinosaurus's in its aquatic dominance, and Giganotosaurus's in its slicing teeth and speed. What makes T-Rex stand out isn't just its physical might, but its iconic status as the last and greatest of the giant land predators before the asteroid impact ended the age of dinosaurs. In a world of giants, T-Rex truly was the king of the land. It teaches us that power in nature isn't one-dimensional. It's not only about size, teeth, or strength. It's about the perfect blend of traits that allow an animal to master its environment, outcompete rivals, and leave a mark that lasts millions of years. And perhaps that's why, even today, more than 66 million years later, the legend of Tyrannosaurus Rex still roars louder than any other name from prehistory. It wasn't just big. It wasn't just strong. It was the ultimate product of evolution's relentless drive to create the perfect apex predator. In that sense, T-Rex wasn't just the most powerful carnivorous dinosaur. It was, and still is, a symbol of the raw, awe-inspiring force of life itself. The debate over which dinosaur was truly the most powerful may never end, but what's certain is that T-Rex earned its reputation. Through fossil evidence, science, and imagination, it continues to capture our fascination, reminding us of a time when giants ruled the earth, and one of them stood above the rest. And that is why, when we ask if T-Rex was the most powerful land carnivore dinosaur, the answer, shaped by science and supported by millions of years of evolution, is yes. Not just because of its size, its bite, or its fearsome appearance, but because of what it represents: the ultimate predator at the end of the age of dinosaurs. The king of kings, the ruler of its world, the mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex.